It's Sabotage right here on your Classic Metal Show with Sirens, and that one goes out by request to AOR Rocks in the chat room. And I saw your little news flash there, Chris, that Wayne Static is dead.
Dead. 48 years old. Wow.
What is it with these guys in their middle age? Hate to say that, but 48 years old, checking out with a drug overdose.
Never stop. They keep trying to live like they were 20.
I know. Kevin Dubrow, Dave Brocky, Wayne Static, 50 years old. Isn't it time to, give up the drugs, dude? Seriously.
I'm at a loss with that one. I mean, that guy was talented. I mean, I know you're probably not a big fan of that.
No, I met the guy once, very briefly.
Yeah, nice enough guy.
I met him at the Akron Civic Theater when they were opening up for Megadeth.
Sure.
When New American Shame was out promoting their album.
Right.
That was a weird lineup. New American Shame, Static X, and Megadeth.
Yeah, I wonder who the oddball in that lineup was. But yeah, he's dead, man. Just couldn't put it down, I guess.
Yeah, how weird. 48 years old. Hail and Kill caller, you're on the air.
Hail and Kill. Hope I'm not dead by 48 years old.
You hope you're dead by 48?
No, I hope I'm not.
How old are you now, Tim?
42. 41,
42?
actually. 42 next year.
What is the life
41
expectancy? What is the life expectancy for somebody with your affliction?
Well, I don't know. It depends how much Jack and Coke I drink.
Do you drink a lot of Jack and Coke, Tim?
Well, I've given up Jack and Cox for Jack and Coke.
Oh, my God. See, Tim, you never cease to amaze me. You give me a laugh every week. You are as entertaining to me as I would hope that we're entertaining to you.
Yes, well, I've been thinking about that line for a couple of days.
So now you're planning your calls, Tim? Is that what you're saying? Look, you didn't have a planned answer for this one, did you? Jesus.
Well, I know you guys are talking about something else. I was actually going to have an on-air discussion with you about something, and I was just wondering when the right time to call in would be.
Well, what do you want to discuss, Tim? I'm opening up the air to you. What would you like to discuss?
I've been thinking about your guys' view on live albums, and I'm not necessarily talking about the best of or whatever. I've been thinking about your guys' view on live albums generally.
Wait a minute, Tim. Before you start, what is our view on live albums?
Well, you kind of don't. Well, from the impression that I get is you kind of don't view them as overly important, or it's just a rehash of material or whatever. So therefore, it's not considered new, whereas the point I was going to talk to you about was there's been some really pivotal live albums over the years, and for you guys to say, "Oh, they're not relevant," it's a bit strange.
Well, nobody said they're not relevant, but when you're talking about a countdown, when you're talking about a countdown situation, they don't fit in within context of a countdown. A countdown has to do with something that's newly released, original material, not a covers album, not a live album of rehashed material, but something that's new and original.
Yeah.
Let me clear one thing up, Tim. Neeley doesn't like live albums. I love live albums.
No, I don't say I don't like live albums. I do like live albums.
You don't listen to them?
Sure I do.
When?
Probably my favorite. Well, I'll tell you my favorite live albums.
Right. Go ahead.
Some of my favorite live albums that I listen to very frequently is
Follow This Live.
No. I listen to Neil Young Live Rust.
Okay.
I like that one.
Yeah.
I like Genesis.
Yeah.
I like Genesis Seconds Out.
Yeah.
I like Brittany Fox, Long Way to Live, even though that isn't technically a live album.
Isn't it a live album? What happened there?
Well, it's a studio performed live with some crowd noise.
Yeah.
Which a lot of them are.
Oh, really?
Which a lot of them are.
Yeah.
And those are some of my favorites. Of course, one of my favorites as a kid and still catches my ear now again is Frampton Comes Alive. I know that's pretty cliche, but it's still a good live record. Yeah. I like that one a lot. So I don't dislike live albums. I just don't think they belong in a top 10 or top 20 countdown.
So what you guys are saying, and just to bring this up into your wheelhouse, Neeley. Say, for example, it was 1988, and just using this as an example, and Dokken had just released Feast from the East, which I believe came out in 1988. If I'm not
1988. 1988.
Yeah, that's right. So what you're saying is, if you were doing the Classic Metal Show countdown for that year, and I'm only talking about the Classic Metal Show countdown as a thing. It's not directly about the Classic Metal Show. But are you saying that you wouldn't include that album in your top 20 for the year?
No, I wouldn't, because.
Well, let's spell it out. When did Live Conception come out?
Well, technically, here's the bugaboo on that.
Yeah.
Technically...
Well, that was 81, wasn't it?
Well, wait a minute. Listen to what I'm going to tell you. Technically, that was 1984, but for...
No, I don't mean that. I mean, when was it released to the public?
It was just released in 2007.
Okay. And it wasn't in your top 10. It was not in your top 20 countdown.
No, it was not.
Yeah, that's the point. The point is we don't do live stuff, Tim. That's in the countdown, we don't do live stuff.
We don't do live, and we don't do cover albums.
Right. We only do stuff.
I get it. It's just
we only do stuff where the music that's released was released that year. Period. The songs have to be released that year.
I know. I get it. It's just strange to me that, say, you wouldn't include, obviously, depending on the time period, you wouldn't include something as iconic as Live After Death or live Binge and Purge or
Tim,
Kiss Alive.
There's this wonderful website out there, Tim, called Spreaker, where you can do the live album countdown of the millennium if you want to. Honest, you could do it.
Yeah, it's true.
It's not what we do.
Anyway, that's all I wanted to say. Hail and kill. Talk to you guys soon. See you next week.
The kid must be in the room. And there he goes.
Well, he thought he was going to talk us into letting him do live albums.
Hail and kill, boys. It's Tim James calling from Sydney, Australia. How are you?
Well, thanks for calling, Tim.
Hail and kill. Fuck you, pal. And hand job!
I think Tim was actually counting on being able to slip a couple of live albums into his countdown.
No, it's not happening.
And I think we pissed on his parade.
If he tries to, I swear to God, I'm going to insert in "You Know You Want It." Every time. If he puts in 5 live records, you're going to hear that song 5 times.
Right.
Because at least that's original material this year.
Sure, that's true. It is original material.
There you go.
But, however, the Bret Michaels and Friends would not be original material.
No, the Jamming with Friends does not count.
No, because it was covers. It was a covers record.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not original.
No, that song was, but the rest of it was not.
Sure.